Recognition and vision. Step 2 on working with reps and creating great reps is people to call. People to call. So let's talk about having people to call. So I want you to jot down Mission 100. Mission 100. Mission 100 is the most important thing for every rep to give them the opportunity to sell. Now, because if they're inspired and they have vision, that's great. But vision and inspiration without people to call isn't really going to do much, right? So Mission 100 is the rule is in the office that every rep has to have at least 100 people to call at any given point. At least 100 people to call. If they have less than 100 people to call, I am very nervous that they're not going to be here next week. So when I say to a rep, how many people do you have on your names list? And they say 60, and they say like, I've got 60, that's a lot. I freak out. Okay, the red flags start going up. That's freak out mode. If somebody has fewer than 100 people on their list, and by the way, some of you are like, I have fewer than 100 on my list right now. If somebody has fewer than 100 on their list, I am just absolutely in freak out mode, and I'm nervous that they're not going to be here next week. If they have over 100 on their list, I'm feeling good. If they have 200 plus, I'm feeling great. But Mission 100 is the minimum. So in our organization, the rule is we never teach anything new unless somebody has 100 names on their list. By the way, new meaning revisiting things from the manual. Like if somebody's having trouble with closing, we would just role play the close and role play objections. But I'm not going to do that unless they have 100 people on their list, because if they have fewer than 100 people on their list, I could spend all the time getting them good at closing, but they don't have enough people to close on. Okay? If they're having trouble with recommendations, I'm not going to spend the time teaching them high-level recommendation skills, because if they don't have enough people to call, then they're not going to have the demos to even ask for recommendations. So it's all about having 100 on their list. And we will do the chicken list PC over and over and over again until they have more than 100 on their list. So we are going to, I'm going to walk you through the chicken list exercise. And for those of you who are at the Southwest Region boot camp a few weeks ago, this will be a little bit of review, but let's see how much you can remember. So you have a document in your packet that says chicken list PC. And I want to use, I'm going to pick somebody as my example. What's your name? Mike. Good to meet you. All right, so Mike is going to be my example for the chicken list PC. The reason why reps quit, the number one reason why reps quit is what? They don't have people to call? False. The number one reason why reps quit is because they don't feel comfortable calling the people they have. Everybody has names to call. It is absolutely impossible for somebody to not have people to call. When somebody says, I don't know anyone, bogus. That's a lie. It's impossible. The average person knows thousands of people by name. Thousands of people by name. And with their virtual demo program, even if they're out of town, it's still a bogus response. They say, oh, I'm not from the area, I don't know anyone. Good, sit on your computer and do virtual demos, because we've had reps sell $10,000 with virtual demos like that. So the reason why reps quit is because they don't feel comfortable calling those people. It's not about how many names they have access to, it's their comfort in actually calling those people. So you got to get people to feel good, because if you recognize them and appreciate them and you paint the picture for them and you inspire them, then they're going to have the why to actually do it, because they know that they have access through their church or synagogue directory or Facebook or their neighborhood or their parents' friends or their friends' parents. They have so many people they could, but they're not willing to take that step until they're inspired. So they have to feel good. That's step number one. You can't just tell somebody with a bad attitude. You can't say, let's say Mike is like, I don't want to work here anymore. This job sucks. I'm going to try to find, a landscaping job. So if he's in that mindset, I can't just dig in and say, all right, let's come up with people to call, because he'll be like, yeah, okay, but I just don't want to, because I just don't like it here. So step one is making sure people feel good. Step two, though, is the names list. So Mission 100, let's talk about the chicken list PC. So reps don't feel comfortable calling certain people, and that's why they quit, not because they don't have access to names.